Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us for the season 13 rounds 5 and 6 Daytona Road sessions. We are live from Florida. It's a 24-degree track. It's quite cool, actually, for Florida at least. I am Pete Bingchillin, as always, and Sir Alan of Toon is in the booth with me, as always, as well. Good evening, Sir Alan.
Good evening, Pete. Good evening, everybody. Excited to be here. Love this place. And yeah, here we go.
Here we go, indeed. Let's see if we can get my vocals up to a sound level that everybody can hear, because that always seems to happen. Who's that on there? That's Ant, isn't it? Someone say that's the best way to enjoy these, Alex. Okay. He's chatting with Alex Savillano Ledo on the chat, who's can't hear him, of course. He's watching, so he's not listening. But we are at Daytona Road, Alan. It's a feast of drafting, or it usually is. Although they've measured it back in these cars of recent times. I don't think that's going to detract from the racing tonight, though. Do you? Given what we've seen in the last season and 2 race weeks.
No, not a chance. But we know that they dialed back the toe slightly, but once you get in reasonable close proximity, there's still toe there.
Yeah,
And frankly, there's very little time when these guys aren't next to each other.
Yeah, true enough.
Regardless of toe.
Yeah, so let's see where we're up to here. Have we entered into qualifying yet? I can't figure it out. We are not in qualifying yet. There's just a few minutes to tick over before these gladiators get going. So let's talk about the standings for a minute.
Oh yeah, exciting.
Yeah, I've got my reverb. If I've done this right, and this will end up with me falling on my face, I'm pretty sure. But on the broadcast, we should see some standings if I've done this correctly.
Oh, yeah, that's massively impressive.
Isn't it?
Goodness me.
So, instead of me just talking about it, we can actually see it for once.
Wow! Hold on.
It's like I've been reborn.
Goodness me, I've got to have a slurp.
Get your scotch, yeah. Go on and get a snifter of that. Get a dram. I've got a dram cup, you know. It's very small, you know. They're very small dram cups.
Yes.
Anyway, it's a pottery one. I might send it to you because you might get more use out of it than I do. Anyway.
No, I won't.
You won't. That's brilliant. So Spencer McCarthy is your championship leader at the moment. He's on 266 points. Don't forget we're going off total points for now. We don't go to the drop score on the right-hand side there until we get to week 6, halfway through the season. So he has a just 2-point lead. It's nothing, Alan. 2 points.
Oh, it's tight, isn't it?
2 points.
Oh, spectacular.
Isn't it? Just over Miguel Freitas.
Yeah, well done, Miguel.
And,
great stuff.
He's a legend, isn't he? Wobbly is in third. We don't know how he's done that because he has no discernible talent. He's 10 points behind his own teammate, and we found out last week it's because he's scared of Big Mig.
Yes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Well, you know, he's in the shadow of Miguel now.
He is. Yeah, it's a big shadow. Yeah.
Barely third, you know.
Yeah. Sam Blees is in fourth, our season 12 champion. He's on 210 points, so he's got some work to do. He's had a couple of races that didn't go his way. He got tangled up in stuff, he got delayed, he didn't finish where he wanted to, so he's got it all to work for at the moment. And then Gary Craig rounds out the top 5, Alan.
Yes, well, Sam's very unlucky, I think.
Yes.
You know, and I think he can... he'll keep a cool head, and I can think we can see him and Gary moving up. Gary's did a really great job of creeping up last year, just being quiet and accruing points, and we'll see.
He nearly won it. He nearly won it.
Yeah,
he was on
he crept up. It was fantastic.
It was so good. Let's move on to the team standings. So, as you'd probably expect, given the point standings for the individuals, Impulse Racing are in the lead by a significant margin over Hydro Race Geodesic Racing because Sam Blees is in Geodesic Racing White. So they split their points. It's Matt Flannery and Spencer in Geodesic Racing, the non-white version. And then BSTV bring up the third place with Hydro Race Racing Forces in fourth and Safeguard, who have acquired a new driver. I'll talk about that in a minute. In fifth. Not a new driver to our leagues, just a new driver from the pool of drivers. Right, so we'll talk about the next one, which is the most coveted prize in all of racing, whether it's real or simulated, the Driver of the Meeting award. We've got 4 with 1 vote so far. That's Lee Bowden, Freddie Van Eekhoven, who I've changed the name of tonight, so his name won't be Van all night. And then Big Mig and Gary Craig in 4th. Everybody else is on 0. And then Sir Alan's Safe Driver Award. Don't know why the top of that's so big, but never mind. JB Dishu is leading that at the minute, which is cool, isn't it?
Well done, JB. We like that good, yeah. A lot.
You have to do 9 races in order to qualify in total, but at the moment, none of them have done 9, obviously. This is the 5th one. So JB is heading that up at the moment, and Demis Tigchalar is in 2nd, with Alejandro Advani, who's not racing tonight, but his teammate Charlie is, in 3rd place for Racing Forces, Hydro Race Racing Forces. With Jamie Jeffrey... sorry, go on.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, Pete, I'm massively impressed that you went out and counted all those turns.
Yeah, I did. I walked them all. It took me months, I flew out there.
Fantastic dedication,
it's just crazy, yeah. And when you get into American tracks where they've got like 10A, 10B and all that business, it's complicated. It gets difficult,
Take your bike next time, lad.
Yeah, take my bike. I should cycle it all. So, is he on track? Let's have a look. So this is the latest addition to Safeguard by Result. This is Lee Bowden. He's been suckered in, Alan. He's been drawn in by the promise of cash, I think. I'm not sure though. But
I think it's actually a case of Carl sweet talking him.
I think it might be, but I'm trying to milk it as something it's not.
Bamboozled him, with fast talk.
Yeah. Good evening to I think that's Tony, isn't it? Cerberus Tigawoo. My money is on Flannery, so he's got a vote straight away.
Well done, Matt.
Matt Flannery gets his vote from Tony Walker.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, very good. Right, so where are we? We are in Daytona. Let's go on board with Matt Flannery, because why not? He's coming up onto the tri-oval now. Well, there's some talk about can you dip below the yellow. You can on a non-NASCAR oval race setup. Track format. So this is a road race, so you can dip below the yellow, but they've discussed when they're going to do it, and it'll be a last lap thing unless they get forced down. Turn 1 is a sketchy one. There's 200 lines into turn 1. Then you make your way through this S section into International Horseshoe, which is this one, 2nd gear. Unless they've lost it. No, I was going to say, he's leaving it late. He's launched it into 2nd gear and then fire it out here down to Dogleg, which is in the distance there. You can see 2 cars disappearing to the left. Tuck it in very tight here, take curb, run it out a little bit, but then get across to the left because your next turn is Western Horseshoe. This has to be cut back heavily. Take it slowly because it's all about slow in, fast out in all these infield sections here at Daytona Road. Down to what's called in and out or rejoin or whatever you want to call it. This is joining the oval track again. A really sketchy turn this. You can end up spinning off inside as well as hitting the wall outside. So very careful through there. It's less dangerous in a front wheel drive car. It's lethal in a rear wheel drive car. And then you're on the oval. So we're in turn 2 at the minute, effectively, as we roar down here. Down here you're looking for a little sign in the sky. It's a yellow sign. It's between the 2 and the 1. 3, 2, sign in the sky, brake. There you go. He did it perfectly. Took it in. Get curb on both sides. In fact, all 4 of these curbs you want to hit. That was a bit sloppy on the exit, but you want to be on the gas early. Get your car straightened up and then power it round here, which is turn 3 and 4 of the oval circuit, and then fire it into the tri-oval. You will see people stopping in the second of our races tonight, because we get 2 races per race week, a 20-minute and a 40-minute race. You want to stay as close to that yellow line as you can because that is the shortest route. But you'll see them tipping off to pit road at the little kink in the white line, not the yellow line, as we get into pit phases in the second race. That was actually a pretty good, pretty clean lap from Matt Flannery. He's currently in 12th, and it's certainly he'll build on that, Alan.
Yeah, well, these guys all know this place like the back of their hand. There's no, there won't be any surprises from the circuit.
No, I don't think there will.
It's quite dark.
David Ayres says that Carl offered sexual favours to Lee. Clearly,
Oh,
Lee
that was it. Well, you know, I heard him panting, so.
yeah. Well, there you go.
Uh,
So at the moment, and contrary to what has happened so far in this season, Sam Blease is your provisional poleman. We're going to go on board with him now because I want to see what the differences are in these things between what Matt Flannery did and what his sister teammate, we'll call it, does. That is Stefan. So he's going to get a toe here. Let's have a look at what the toe does, Alan, because this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Is he going to be able to slingshot him before the start-finish line, do you think?
Well, you can see that it's having an effect.
Oh, he's bailed on it. He's bailed on it. He didn't want, I think, unless he's got to slow down off that bus stop, I don't think he wanted an impulse car behind him, but I might be wrong. So we're going to go on board with Spencer, who didn't care either way. Into turn one, you can see the two lines that they've both chosen. There's 1,600 more lines into turn one, as I said before. All of them are about as good as one another, as I've found. I've chosen them all over the years, Alan.
Yes, I've missed them all over the years, and this is one of my speciality spinning spots.
Yeah.
Where I can veer to the right with a fair amount of grace now because I've practiced it so much.
Yeah. So I think Spencer's going to do very well here because Stefan is no slouch. He doesn't finish or end races always where he wants to, I don't think, but he is very quick. Oh, Spencer got a bit. See that? He got a bit of bit of scenery, a bit of farmland he got there.
Is it true that the Audi's got quite a good top end?
No, it tops out. That's the problem with it. It's got very short low end gearing, so when everybody else is in third gear, you're in fifth.
He's going to be in trouble then, isn't he?
He's bailed on this. He's bailed on this. I don't know why he's bailed on it. Is he towing somebody he doesn't want to?
Who's got the best top speed out of these cars? Do we know?
Best top speed. I think it's one of the two Hyundais, if I'm being honest. I don't think the Honda's terribly good at top speed. And I think Spencer there had a bad lap, so he's bailed on it. He's going to try and consolidate and get out for a second attempt. Gary is taking the high line here because you can get a good run into the start finish if you are clever. He's dropped in behind Spencer now.
It was a bad lap. It's still a 56.
I think we're going to see a lot better than that, funnily enough. I don't think there's been a red hot lap at all yet. I think Miguel's was on his own. I don't think Big Mig, sorry, I got his name wrong. I think the best of the lot.
56.5 at the moment, aren't we?
Well, maybe that's good. Maybe he got toe off Wobbly, because Wobbly's now behind him and too close to him, if I'm being honest. That's not a great place to be for Wobbly. He's going to get
very cosy for quali, isn't it?
Well,
very cosy. You're trying to get every bit of this maybe draft, maybe not draft.
Well, if you don't get draft, you're done, aren't you? Because that's what Daytona is all about. It's just a draft fest. So even if the draft isn't as effective as it used to be, you've got to be in it to win it, literally.
Sure. In fact, it's. I know that in almost every car I've driven there, it's the draft that's let me keep up with people.
Yeah. Clyde on the chat says that Carl always comes first, and David Ayres pointed out that that's at the buffet, and that's absolutely right. He's always there, stuffing his face. Welcome to the family show. Right, so let's have a look further back. Charles Walsh doing a good job back here. Where's Freddie?
Yes.
Freddie
Come on, Charles.
Yeah, Freddie Barneatkoven's accompanying him. And Fee, I've messaged
How's
Fee.
Fee doing?
Because her paint isn't showing in the drive anymore, so she needs to re-upload it. That's why it didn't show last week as well. But I was too slow and too stupid to go and find it before tonight. So apologies to Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield, because their wonderful, beautiful maroon and green livery is not showing. But we'll sort that for next time. It's not a massive worry.
Good time though, Fee.
Yeah.
Two
It
or
is a
two.
good time, yeah.
Yeah. Probably more to come, maybe.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
Get in the traffic.
And
Cars come
Daytona,
along.
as Clyde always says, and I don't know whether you agree with this or not, I know I do, and I don't like agreeing with Clyde, obviously. Why would you? Is that was Spencer, wasn't it? Yes, it was. It was Spencer McCarthy who got turn one very wrong. Spencer just did the Pete Bingham approach to turn one, and you don't want to do that. I think it was very similar to the Alan Toon approach, yeah?
Yeah, you need to really get your braking right, don't you?
Oh, you do, yeah.
You know, if you get it just right, it's a very sweet corner. It's fun to get it right. You can plant the car and it just swoops around. But if you get it slightly wrong, you're away home to the right, and it can be very sad.
Yes. Yeah, and by sad we mean expensive. What was I talking about? I can't remember. No, it's gone. Oh no. So Clyde says that Daytona is very easy to learn. I agree. He also says it's very difficult to master and get very, very good, clean, and fast laps from, which is absolutely true. The technicality of some of these turns is quite significant, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yes. There's not a lot of leeway for getting it wrong, and your timing and your steering and inputs have got to be precise, because they're exposed all the time. Everything's got to be just so. It has.
It does. Someone that didn't have a brilliant last race was Jamie Wilson, or last race week rather. Hopefully that Elantra's got enough grunt in it and can get in the tow efficiently so that he does a bit better this time. What do you think?
Yeah, well, we know what a classy driver Jamie is.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
Seventh where he is now is I think pretty enterprising.
Yeah,
it is in this kind of company.
Agreed.
So he's obviously got good, sensible pace, and as you say, if you get in the tow, he's certainly going to keep his times are definitely good enough so that he'll be able to keep on with a bit of tow if he can get in there.
Yeah, there's a bit of pit lane practice going on here as well. So there's clearly a value in everybody's mind to doing a decent pit stop. I know these guys are very professional. They like to simulate real life racing as much as possible, so that's very honourable.
This pit's, it's a long lane, but it's an easy entry, isn't it? As long as you don't get caught speeding.
It is, yeah.
Because the entry is very, very quickly off the main carriageway.
Yes.
The exit, of course, is horrendously slow.
It is, yeah. And it goes on a lot longer than it used to, and I keep getting caught speeding when I race it.
Right.
So, we've just been chinned out of the rest of quali, because that's what happens in heat racing. So, we are going to go to grid, and we're going to look at this. Yes, we are. So, Miguel Freitas is your pole man for tonight. I think that's his first pole of the season, which is brilliant. For Impulse Racing, I might be wrong. Wobbly, his teammate, goes off second. Adam Wright is in third for BSTV. Sam Blees for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White, it goes off fourth. Spencer McCarthy goes off fifth for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Gary Craig goes off sixth for BSTV. Jamie Wilson seventh for Team Chimera. Carl Hardy eighth for Safeguard by Result. Ninth is Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports. Freddie Van Eekhoven with his entire name on the screen this time goes off 10th for Hydro Race Racing Forces. Lee Bowden off 11th. He's actually for Safeguard. I've clearly forgotten to do that little piece of work there to get his team sorted out. Demis Chikchalar is going off 12th for Hydro Race Racing Forces. 13th will be JB Dejoux for BSTV Esports Blue. For Hydro Race Geodesic Racing, Matt Flannery goes off 14th. 15th will be Alan Woodward for Never Quit Racing, or Never Quit Raging, because that's what we're calling it these days with him. 16th is Charles Walsh. 17th is Fiona Siddons for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. I got through the whole lot before everybody joined this time, which
Brilliant.
Is excellent. Right, we're going to go to
very smooth indeed.
Smooth indeed.
Well, look at that. It's a fantastic grid, isn't it?
It is. I don't know what to do here. Do we get... Oh, that's from the Mir space station again. That's too close. There's got to be a better camera we can use here somewhere. What about this one? No, that's no good. So let's go to TV2. That might give us something. Lights are coming on, Alan.
Yeah. Oh, crikey.
Yeah.
Go.
Green flag, green flag.
So we're away.
Oh.
I've just turned my volume up.
Adam got away very nicely there.
Yes, he did. So he stayed in third. Everybody at the very front is as they were, I think. Yeah, they are.
That Impulse
For
were 1 and
now.
2 last week in the sprint race, I think.
It was, yeah, but they didn't have an answer for Spencer in the feature race.
No,
No.
but they locked out the front. And I wonder if they're going to. I wonder if they can do the same here at Daytona. I don't know whether you can lock out this place. It's, you know, like you say, there's a lot of lines in around the circuit.
Yeah, I think Stefan's been muscled out of a few places here, a couple of them at least. And Spencer McCarthy further forward has overtaken Sam Blees to take 4th place away from him. I have increased my volume because Clyde said something on the chat which I can't repeat actually. I've just reread it. Oh, Stefan, what are you doing, mate? Where you going? We'll look at that again in a minute. Also having a bit of a tough time was Jamie Wilson, which is why there's a gap in front of him, and he's about to get overtaken by Carl Hardy.
No, Carl's tucked him behind.
He has tucked him behind him.
Very nice to see 2 safeguard cars out there. They look very handsome together, handsome pair.
They do. It's almost like they planned it. Yeah.
Lee's a very welcome addition to the result team. Sure.
Carl not doing anything about Jamie just yet, so we're going to go to the front here and have a look at Wobbly, who's chasing his teammate around. Obviously, we know he's scared of him, so he won't overtake him. Adam Wright has gone high, so he's got to slow down off the bus stop.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Adam. He was doing very well there.
Yeah.
No, he was in the toe, very nicely in the toe, and
yeah, I think he's thrown that away.
Good.
Now, there's no event for it, so I think that's just cutting the curb a bit too much.
So,
and he's still trying to
still
shed
losing
it.
places.
It's a massive slowdown, though. It's huge. He's now right back in 11th place. That's going to upset him. So his first challenge is to get back to 8th, because that's the... Oh, no, 12th. 12th is the reverse grid these days. So JB is currently dominating that position. This is a bit busy back here, look. Look at this lot around these Racing Forces cars. And further back here as well, Ant Woodward, Matt Flannery, JB. It's a bit of a dogged fight.
It's just as well they know this place well, isn't it?
It is. Spencer McCarthy.
And there's a little bit of room. There's a little bit of elbow room here. I always appreciate that. There's a bit of space.
Yeah. So pretty much everybody in the top end of the field is up a position because of Adam. Lee Bowden, good effort, mate. He's up 3 places from the start. Only one of them was gifted by Adam. So that's a good start for him.
Yeah, he's doing very well. Now this is always staying status quo. Is anybody getting advantage of toe here that we can see?
I think everybody is. I think that's the idea.
Everybody just is a little bit.
Into the
nobody's going to get away, are they?
No, I mean, the front 5 have closed right up on one another, which would suggest that the toe is absolutely at work, although Spencer was slow out of the bus stop.
But you know what it's like in there, Pete. You've only got to get the lines fractionally wrong, and it's a nightmare. Yeah, you would. Especially with the new curbs and everything.
Yeah, you would think that Sam Blees would have pushed Spencer, but apparently racing orders don't apply. Because he's on the outside of him. He's making a race of it, and Spencer is absolutely doing wobbly. That's driver of the meeting. It's already been won. He's qualified already.
Yes. Oh,
Wobbly's going to be down 2 positions.
Sam's,
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Oh, well, you know, Wobbly's not giving this up, and neither should he.
But Dogleg is a left-hand turn.
Yes.
So they're going to have to hold this. Oh, there's a bit of door banging.
Yeah, it's a dangerous left-hander as well, as we know.
Yeah, so into the braking zone for Western Horseshoe, and I think Wobbly's going to retain this, because it's too tight a turn to stay on the outside, I think.
They'll stay there for...
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it. So it's this nasty left-hander.
Yeah, the in and out turn, or the rejoin turn. We said before, it's a bit lethal.
They got through. Yeah, they got through, okay.
They did. So let the draft train commence again. Let's go back to something other than Chopper. it served us well for what we saw just then.
So while they're doing that, Spencer's been making hay, of course.
He has. He's closing up on the back of Big Mig, Miguel Freitas. Sam pops out to have a look at Wobbly. And he's got the fastest lap. Sam, please, he's got the fastest lap. I think this is his race. Oh, as Freddie gets really racy with Lee Bowden. Look at that. Good effort. And there's Adam. He's popped out a bit too soon, in my opinion. You kind of almost want to... Oh, why is he going high again? Can't possibly... Oh, yeah, he's dropping back in for the toe. You want the toe later in the straight, if you know what I mean. He was a bit too quick onto the toe. He's done exactly what you should do, I think, which is drop back in, grab yourself another bag full of toe, especially in the Honda because it's underpowered at the top end, as far as I'm led to believe, anyway. And he's got a bit of a scrap on his hands here. He's around the outside there of Freddie Van Eekhoven. And Lee Bowden's a bit of the cork in the bottle for that particular turn, but he's doing really well otherwise.
Oh, this is good driving.
It is. Adam's got it done on Freddie. No, he hasn't.
Oh, he's tight round there.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
He's backed out of that significantly. I don't know why exactly. Maybe he touched him and he didn't want to... Oh, there's door banging behind, look. With Demis.
No.
Oh, and Demis has gone right round, and hopefully he doesn't find any furniture.
He's...
I think he managed to avoid all of that.
Oh, I don't know.
So let's have a little look at that again. Because there was a bit of door banging, a bit of opportunistic attempts.
So... Right.
Well, yeah, that did kind of look like Adam turned across him. Oh, he did hit the wall. All right.
Oh, yeah, it was. I thought it would be the bounce that put someone back on the road. And
it kind of helped him a little, but I think that'll be fairly race affecting.
I hope his car's okay.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. He's meatballed.
He has, and he's had to tow as well. I think he crashed it just after that, but we'll save him a few blushes. Look at this. The draft train is in full flow. Spencer, not as near to Miguel as I expected him to be. But the draft train approaches. Look at the state of it. It's class, isn't it? I was trying to do that without laughing, but it's just too funny. We're going to go three wide into here. Three wide.
Got some pace there.
Yeah. Sam, he's trying to cut back, but there's nowhere to cut back to.
Gary's took a... See, where did Gary come from? He was cars back. He was car lengths back.
Welcome to Daytona.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, if you are Gary, surely it is let these idiots duke it out between them and mop it up at the end. I don't know whether he's going to get fully involved or not. We'll have to have a look. But Sam is on the outside of Wobbly, and oh no, he's on the outside of Miguel. Miguel's in third. He went from first to third. Oh dear. We had some funny Alt F4 races a bit like this.
No,
hopefully I'm a bit louder now.
I think Gary will be quite happy where he is.
Yeah.
Where are we? Still got 11 minutes.
We do. There's plenty to race for you. Not even halfway yet. So, anybody else in close proximity to one another? Yeah, Adam Wright on a recovery drive from getting the world's worst of the slowdowns in the bus stop on lap 1. He's struggling, I think, don't you?
I wonder if he's still got damage.
Very possibly, yeah. Although, looking at that, he's pulled onto the back of Freddie Van Eekhoven. Whoever Eddie Van Freekhoven is, I don't know, but it's a good spoonerism.
It's one of those heavy metal guitarists.
It is, yeah, for Iron Maiden, yeah. Demis has rejoined the race. Yeah, I don't think he's dropped a lap even. He's just quite a way off the back of the pack. So, Adam, can he take out 2 Hydro Race Racing Forces cars in 2 laps? Let's see.
Wow.
He's good on the brakes.
They were really quick as well, didn't they? Goodness me.
So back where they were a bit ago, this is a fight of 5. Let me
These
put them
guys are
flat
late on the
box.
brakes. Goodness.
They are. But you can be in the TCR, it's front wheel drive, isn't it? So you can almost send it last minute. Ooh.
Well, you know, the force feedback is so powerful and the reaction you get is so strong. You know, they're so great to drive these cars. They feel really alive in your hands.
Yeah. So anybody want on the chat to guess which of the top 17 are going to win this race? Because it's just a bit of a gamble, to be honest. Anybody can lead it on any one particular lap by the look of things. Let's have some votes.
Right. It's just, yeah. It's not going to be easy to split these 5.
No, I think they'll all draw together again by the end of the start-finish straight. This is what the astronauts see of Daytona. Look at the 2 rear cars closing in at the bus stop. That's the first pile of tow taken up. That Veloster of Gary was slow out of the bus stop that time. I don't know whether
It was.
whether it was he was washing out in the aero wash of the car in front or what. But Sam Blees definitely having a
Sam
look
was
at
grease
wobbly.
lightning.
Yeah. He's gone outside of wobbly here. It's the long way around. He's blocking wobbly in. He's blocking wobbly in.
Oh, goodness me. Look at this.
That's ridiculous. So, oh, Sam got fully
Contact.
sideways, and there was contact. Yes, Big Mig got into the driver's door because the left-hand drive for some reason. These things. Obviously, we all know that the sensible way is to have the steering wheel on the right-hand side of the car.
Great save by Sam.
Massive save. I mean, that could have ended really badly. So, good effort there. Now, Gary Craig faces Miguel Freitas. I think he's just going to sit there. There's no benefit yet. There's no benefit.
He's got record with this kind of thing as Gary.
Yeah. Sensible racing. Yeah.
Yeah, he just keeps his head and he sees no advantage in trying to bully his way through these very fast drivers.
No, I mean,
he just waits to see how things turn out and take advantage of a situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably 3, maybe 4 laps, depending on how quick they get around these to go. Which means he can sit there and possibly even get the win, because you don't know what happens here, do you?
You just don't know exactly, you know. It can certainly take the time to see how things develop.
Oh, yeah.
His worst position is going to be 5th.
Exactly. So let's see who is at the front of this queue. The front of this queue is Jamie Wilson. He's being chased by Carl Hardy and his teammate now. New to the Safeguard stable is Lee Bowden. Freddie Van Eekhoven just behind.
Good racer, Lee.
Very good race. Very good race.
You know, experienced, good racer.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing that Big Mig and Gary are actually in the 56s now.
Yeah, I mean, helps out by the tow, it has to be said.
So the other guys are doing all the hard work.
Yeah.
That's very nice of them, I think.
I think it's very generous, yeah. I think Wobbly's got the fastest lap of the race so far. I'll have to delete that point later if that's the case. Yeah, that's the case. I'll just add a second on so he can't win it. It's fine. Admin rights. So these 5 inseparable at the minute. The next 5 pretty much inseparable as well. So we've got 2 batches of 5 racing, and then further back we now have around JB Matt Flannery. Ant Woodward's wasn't far behind. I think he's taken the extracurricular route round International Hairpin there, and then we're a bit broken up behind that. So
they're all on 58s. The lap times are the same. They've just got spread out.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably just a odd little thing, and it just costs you, doesn't it? Slight misjudgment of a corner, just get a slight bit of a sideways on, and it can really cost you in a place like this because you get out the toe and that's it.
Yeah, Wobbly's moment I thought had come. He's deciding to stay in the toe, not push the issue, and then we pile into the bus stop. He won't want to be in front when he's on this bit of track anyway, because you can just get mugged again by the time you get into turn 1. Let's see what he does this time. He's dropped off the back of Spencer quite a lot, and Sam Blees is now going to pressure him again. So I think we're going to
Sam's
see a
going to be
repeat.
dangerous. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, Sam's dangerous with these situations. It's great at coming out the toe and finding just a mile an hour.
Oh no! Oh dear. We're going to have to autopsy that big time.
Well, it's an inspired camera change.
Wasn't it just? I thought they were getting close. Is that wobbly in pit road? So that's, well, dangerous pit lane entry for a start. He's obviously speeding through because there's no point now. Let's see what happens with that. I don't think he'll be rejoining that race. Let's see what happened with all of that. Oh, bit of netcode. Miguel Freitas, hats off to you. Your reactions were immense. He managed to avoid the whole thing.
Well, that's terrible.
Let's see it again.
How unfortunate is that?
Let's
Just
focus on what happened to Wobbly.
There was yards between those cars.
Yeah. I think he was speeding into pit road. I don't know about you. I think that's very irresponsible of him.
Guys are getting done for speeding in the pit lane when you just run around at 150 miles an hour and come on in. Oh.
Yeah. So that was the end of that. So a good amount of netcode, but I think it was Wobbly coming across the front of Sam ultimately that did that one. Right.
Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. So that.
But, Gary won't be minding because what we were saying about taking advantage of the situation. He's now on the podium.
Yeah, and you got to doff your hat to Miguel Freitas for the brilliant avoiding manoeuvres he pulled then. That was impressive. So I think Gary will stay where he is. The only beneficial time to do the overtake is on the last lap, and we're still 2 minutes away from that.
Wow. Well, it'd be interesting to see if Gary's got the pace of Miguel. That's going to be no easy thing to get past him, I don't think.
No. Bob Woodhouse is asking about Ant Woodward. Is he in 12th place and therefore on the reverse pole? He is. He absolutely is.
He's likely to retain that from his seems well situated there. He's not under any kind of a threat, is he?
No, we've got a developing situation here. These 5 cars still together, obviously, but they are much closer than they were previously. So hopefully they won't end up in the same situation as as we saw with Wobbly. Adam very wide, but he's got 1 position away from Freddie Van Eekhoven without killing him, which is good.
Adam's a very skilled driver.
Yeah.
If anybody can nip through, he's a good prospect for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Bob Woodhouse is thanking Wobbly for getting Ant Woodward into 12th place.
But I think Lee's looking behind him now, and we're going to see him seeing a gap between him and Carl.
Yeah, I would think so. There is a bit of air between them, isn't there? So there's enough for a car. And this might be it. I need to go to the front runners because I don't think Gary's going to do anything. So I think he's going to stalk Miguel Freitas as opposed to overtake him. It won't be this lap anyway. It'll be the next one because they will get an 11th lap out of this. So they're over the line. And then we're going back to this group because I can't see Adam waiting.
There's no contact because these cars are running slow and we've already seen what happens.
Yes. Adam round the outside gets a bit of Lee Bowden. Not enough to be worried about it. Thought I saw some overtaking further ahead. I'm pretty
no,
sure I
just
did.
good driving by both of those drivers. Fantastic.
Oh, I did.
Skillful, under control, but nothing reckless.
No. So, Spencer has been overtaken by Miguel Freitas. We'll have a very quick look at it because this is the last lap.
Oh, that's a surprise.
So it was into turn 1. He's taken the low. Oh no, he's cut back. He has to have cut back. Yes, he did.
Oh,
Beautiful overtake. Very clean. Very professional. That's that.
Oh, that was sweet.
Textbook stuff from Miguel Freitas. Right, he's now technically a potential victim. 2 Hondas lead this race. And the draft will be immense, I would think. Honda on Honda.
Have you seen Gary?
I have seen Gary. Absolutely stalking these Hondas. Although Miguel has done a wonderful bus stop there.
He's got purple as Gary. He's doing very nicely out of these two.
He is. Oh, he's got the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah.
I wonder if he even knows. Oh, he will know because
he's smart like that.
Oh,
he's diving. Oh, my.
What's up with Spencer?
What's happening? What's going on?
I don't understand what's going on here. That's unprecedented.
He slowed down massively.
As Miguel crosses the line in first place.
Was he across the line?
Gary Craig in second and Spencer in third. He wasn't across the line when he slowed up. I don't know what the cause of that was. We'll find out afterwards, I would think.
A bit baffling.
Yeah, very baffling. And pretty much everybody else crosses the line. Oh, there's a bit of drama
Jamie.
There at the end.
Well done. He did well to stave those 5 hungry villains off.
He did. That
And
was brilliant.
Well, here we go in here. JB. No easiest thing to stave off Matt.
No, not at all. We got Charles Walsh going across the line now. Fiona Siddons. And a little bit to go before Demis Tigchalar manages to get round for the rest of his lap after getting turned by Adam earlier on in the race.
Yeah, credit to him. Demis stayed in the race. Look it out, it's still in there. When you get at the backs of these races, it can seem a long way. A long, lonely drive.
Yeah. But that's why there's a good thing about having a second race. And one that's a bit longer for the second one, because it gives you something else to race for, you know?
Absolutely. It gives you a chance to come back as well.
Yeah, too right.
Because, there's more incident, and certainly you've got twice as long on the track, so you've a much better chance of getting a bit of useful draft if you've been dropped slightly.
Yes, too right. So that's Demis across the line. That's the final car to finish. We are going to have a quick look at the results. Let's have a look. So your race winner for round 5 at Daytona Road for the BSTV TCR Challenge Cup was Miguel Freitas. He won by 0.3 of a second. That's all over Gary Craig for BSTV. Inexplicably ahead of Spencer, who woed it up. We don't know why yet for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. His team, or sister teammate, Spencer Sam Blees, finished 4th. Last season's champion for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing White. 5th was Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera. 6th was Carl Hardy for Safeguard. 7th was Adam Wright for BSTV. Lee Bowden finished 8th. 9th was Freddie Van Eekhoven for Hydro Race Racing Forces, with JB Dejoux in 10th for BSTV Esports Blue. Matt Flannery in 11th for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Ant Woodward finished 12th and will be our pole man for Race 2 here at Daytona Road, or also known as Round 6 for Never Quit Raging. 13th was Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports. Charles Walsh finished 14th. Fiona Siddons finished 15th for Matthews Logistics with the Vapors Mansfield. Demis Tigchalar finished 16th for Hydro Race Racing Forces. And Wobbly did not finish for Impulse Racing.
Oh, yes, unfortunate for Wobbly.
So, Alan, call-outs in that one for you. It was a busy old race, wasn't it? You
was.
can't ignore the incident between Sam and Wobbly, but there was air between them.
Yes.
It was a
Yeah,
solid air
just,
moment. Yeah.
something might have happened anyway, but that was sad to see that when there's clear air between them. Absolutely. We had the two groups of 5 that formed, and 10 top racers, and they kept each other occupied, those groups. But the 5, there was no splitting them, was there? Yeah, they were running very close. And
No,
yeah.
it was very good. And we know from the first race that Wobbly doesn't need to do any pit lane practice because he's already done one.
Yeah, I feel for him, because you don't want to see a man to retire from the race like that when it's so unfortunate. Because these guys are good drivers, and I don't think he would have ended up in the pits necessarily.
No.
Unlucky. You could put that one down to misfortune, and but he's professional. He's got his new team. He's got a great new teammate. Everything's on the up for dear old Wobbly, and we want to see him do well.
Well, he's got the ultimate last to first challenge for this one, because he will start dead last. He's just done a practice pit stop. I think everybody will do one, because it's such a feature of these feature races. 40-minute race. They've got just 2 more minutes of warm up. So shake the cobwebs free. You often see them doing practice starts in these cars because double clutching is a big thing. But mostly, I think here will be a practice pit stop. Usually at the second kink, there is where you start to brake. That looks pretty perfect, to be honest. From
It's going to need to be. It's going to need to be.
It is, yeah, you're right.
Really good pit stop guys here.
Well,
They've got a shrewd eye, and they just get the pace absolutely perfect, don't they? They're absolutely on the line when they hit that cone, and goodness, I don't know how they do it. I mean, I would be black flags half the time, but yeah. If you don't get that entry point of the pit lane absolutely perfect, because it's a long pit lane, you could easily lose a few tenths on that pit lane if you haven't got your entry right. So
definitely.
And you're coming in really quickly. You full pelt around the outside of the circuit, so quite easy to get it wrong in the spur of the moment, in the excitement.
Yeah, that looked excellent from Sam Blease there. If he got slowed up enough before the line. So that'll probably be all that we see on track, to be fair. It's such a long lap here that 5 minutes worth of warm-up isn't really a warm-up. So we'll see what we end up with. Good evening to all the people watching online at the moment. Don't forget to give us a like on YouTube. It makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So, anybody with a standout performance from the first race for you, Alan?
Well, yeah, I think Gary did really well, actually. Sneaking along, I've got used to seeing him tucked in there and just shrewdly keeping in, and he got second place out of it this time. But JB did well.
Yeah, definitely. JB did very well. Ant Woodward will lead us away for the second of tonight's races, round 6. I'll just go through the names because I always run out of time for this one. Matt Flannery will go off second for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. JB will go off third for BSTV Esports Blue. Freddie Van Eekhoven off fourth. Lee Bowden off fifth. And Adam Wright off sixth. Seventh will be Carl Hardy. Eighth will be Jamie Wilson. Ninth, if I can choose the right buttons, will be Sam Blease. 10th will be Spencer. 11th will be Gary. Miguel will go off 12th as race winner from the first one. 13th will be Stefan. 14th will be Charles Walsh. 15th will be Fiona Siddons. 16th will be Demis Chigchalar. And Wobbly will go off last with the ultimate last to first challenge. And we are ready to race.
Green, green, green.
Spinning wheels for those on clutch, and away we go. Oh, good start there for Freddie Van Eekhoven. What a launch. Very nice. Adam Wright also. 3 wide just behind.
Jamie got caught a bit flat-footed.
I think he did, yeah. No Jamie Jeffrey tonight? No? No. Thought I'd missed a unicorn somewhere. Oh, that's on the grass from, I think it was Miguel. Yeah, it was. Wobbly is already up quite a few positions.
Well, you know what, Wobbly, he won't be hanging around.
No, and we're
He's a
too
really
wide.
great starter as well. So,
Adam and
cold
Freddie.
tyres. It's a risky business, you know, rushing through a crowded field like this.
It is. And we've seen Spencer absolutely scythe his way through fields already this season, twice in feature races. So let's see what other people have got as an answer to that. Somebody's getting another position there. He's up 4 positions already, as is Adam Wright. But Adam's gone... oh no, he hasn't. He's gone low this time. And he's about to get second place away from Freddie. Freddie's going to drop in, and that Audi is going to be a little bit quicker in a straight line, I think.
Oh.
And that's super close. We're going to have to... This is all the cars. There's a whole field in your screen right now. Peeling off into the bus stop.
What a sight, Pete. What an
It's
absolute
amazing, isn't
fantastic
it?
sight.
It's brilliant.
In the dark at Daytona. Here we go.
You couldn't ask
Look
for
at
more.
this.
Well, you could ask for more. You could ask for this.
Beautiful.
You could ask for this.
Please wait, mate.
3 wide at the bank. Ah. That's magic.
Oh my
crikey.
God!
Oh, they're
my
getting very
God!
cozy.
This can... Is it...
Oh.
There's either tears or something coming here. Ant Woodward is gone. He's got 1.15 seconds over this 5 here, who are sharing the same little tiny bit of tarmac. You can see him just there in the front of the shot.
They're
Adam
all-
Wright. Oh, he's gone! He's gone!
Oh, Adam.
Right.
I don't think he's hit the arm car, has he?
No, he's going to rejoin. He's back on the track now, but he's lost all the places. He's second off last.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. So
No damaged car, so he's still in the running.
yeah, there's a couple in the pits at the minute. Charles Welsh and Demis Tuchula. We'll have a look at what happened to them later.
Oh.
As Spencer McCarthy's getting shuffled back here. He made his way forward quite rapidly, and now he's going back again. He's underneath JB Dejoux there.
Maybe.
Under the Undertaker. That can't be good.
This is
Oh, he's round the outside almost of JB at the return to the oval turn. I mean, you can see Ant Woodward here.
yeah. Well, he's got the purple lap. He's making hay. He's
It's
absolutely making hay, and it's great to see. But he does, you know, when last time he was on the pole, he got away and he did very, very well.
He did.
He takes some catching and passing.
So-
Don't have to give him a lot of encouragement.
Wobbly from the back of the field is now ahead of not only his own teammate but also Gary Craig. He's absolutely ripping his way through the field at the minute.
Wobbly, you star. What a drive. Blooming heck. What a drive, Ray. Thank you, man.
Anybody that says Daytona Road is boring, because there is some people out there, and I've been a victim of thinking that previously, is very, very wrong. Charles Walsh. Sorry, no, Carl Hardy in pit road.
Oh, no. Captain, what's going on?
Bad things, I think. Oh, no. Sam.
Oh.
So, in the distance of one straight, that 1.15 seconds that Ant had has gone. History.
Well, you know, these are voracious sharks behind him.
Oh, yeah. They've got some appetite as well. Some please. Having a long, hard look.
Is that Freddie nibbling away at Jamie?
It is, yeah. But we're going to watch this because it's for the lead.
Well, you can't, you know, Tom's a bit of a force of nature, isn't he? So
He is, yeah,
you
absolutely.
can't really stave him off, to be honest. You might as well stave off a tornado.
Well, yeah. Or a tsunami.
Yeah, but well, they're a bit up for tornadoes, a lot drier.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. You don't have to get your swimsuit out. That is Wobbly putting pressure on JB.
Yeah,
And further
look at the
forward.
impulse cars together. And we've got the geodesic cars together.
Yeah, formation flying from the Hondas. JB's dropped in behind Wobbly, trying to make as much as he can of it. Go on, JB. Give him a bit of a shove into a wall or something. I mean, you know, don't hurt him.
Oh, Gary wants to be in the toe of ease and making hay because he's quite down the field, Gary, at the moment.
He is, but I think he's probably playing a safe game. Yeah, this is what he does. He finished second in the first race, and you can't argue with his logic. I don't know why he finished second in the first race, because Spencer should have done, by all logic. Let's have a look at what's happening around Freddie. Here we go. Ant Woodward pops out of the toe. He doesn't want any of that. I don't know why.
Oh.
That's the place to be. Further back, JB has got Miguel and Gary.
So what's happening with Ant?
I think Ant has either got a technical issue or he's trying to stave off a massive slowdown. He's back on it again now.
Back on. So
I think he cut the bus stop.
Right. It definitely looked like a big slowdown, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, shame. Look what that's so costly as well, because you know they're going like the clappers there. You've got to slow down. These guys are going 110%. They just whoosh by you.
They do. I'm trying to find what the hell happened to Carl Hardy. Oh, here we go.
Oh, he had to go for a pie. Go on, tell me.
Yeah, I think there's a pie stand somewhere at turn 1. Oh no, this is bus stop. He's going to spear off into the left, isn't he? Oh, I've done this so many times. Yeah. He's going to move forward a little bit in a minute and then realise his steering snapped. Oh no, he's not going to move. I don't think he could move it. Right, he's just reset. Right, so that's what happened to Carl.
Oh, skipper. Never mind.
Yeah. Right.
He's back on this track and is you know in motion forward. Hopefully.
He is. Yeah. Let's find out what happened rather to Charles Walsh. That's the start. You can see Barney waving a green flag. Something terrible's already happened at that point.
So he got damage at the rear, or is that just the paint?
Hang on, there's another one. Oh no, this is Demis. Maybe this is it. I don't think Charles launched. I think Demis is going to run straight into the back of Charles. Yep. And broke his suspension.
Well, that would do it.
That would do it. Right, so that's everybody accounted for that's had a bad day so far in race 2. Right, let's get to the front here because Jamie is now under pressure from Spencer. And the cream has risen to the top again, Alan.
Yes, well, we do see it time and again, but we like to see people like Jamie getting in the mix.
Oh, he's fighting it. He's absolutely fighting it. That launch was quick as well, we know that.
Yeah, and Freddie, you know, doing his best as well.
Yep.
They're all doing their damnedest, and Freddie's in front of Wobbly. Now, that's taking some doing today because he's flying. Was in front of him.
Sorry.
Temperature's changing so quickly.
Yeah. Gary Craig is lifting Matt Flannery out of the corner. He's going to want to slow down and cut back, which is exactly what he's done. And he's going to get a good launch out of the rejoin corner. And we'll get him maybe into the bus stop, but most likely he'll wait till after. He's having a look now. Let's see what he does. He's going to drop back in, I think.
I don't think he's got the run.
I don't think he's got the run on the Honda at the minute, but the top speed of the Veloster is greater, and you can see it taking effect now.
So much on the braking on this circuit.
Yep, and there you go. Job done. Beautiful overtake from Gary Craig. Right. Something's gone on here.
On the brakes, you can make up a vast amount of ground.
Yeah, Wobbly's gone and cut the bus stop, I think, which is why he's trying now desperately to shed a slowdown, which is only going to be good for Gary Craig, because that'll mean he'll drop back into his toe.
Yeah, I think, well, Wobbly, if he's had a slowdown, he can be count his blessings because he got away with that fairly well.
Absolutely. Lee
So
Bowden.
that's why we saw get a slow down. It cost him about 20 places. So
Yeah. Good grief. Did you see how quick Lee Bowden got round turn 1? That was brilliant. Oh, no!
oh,
Oh, that was Matt Flannery with JB. He just came across, or one of the two of them crossed over the other. I couldn't figure out which. Everybody's safe, everybody's alive, but it really speared him off into the grass. He's lost a few places there, but I don't think anybody was necessarily to blame. It was just too many cars on the same bit of tarmac situation.
yeah. You got described from this. There's an awful lot of very tight and close racing going on.
Oh, it's just unreal.
Incidents
isn't
are
it?
bound to happen, and we've also got the dreaded invisible monster
Yes.
as well working tonight. So
Yeah, we do, sadly. Alex Savillano, I'm so glad you're not racing. He says his screen went absolutely black for 10 minutes and he couldn't fix it. There's a lot of talk on the forums at the minute about iRacing still framing and then resetting your car to the pits. Quite a few people have had it since the last update, so hopefully that doesn't plague anybody in our league tonight, because that'd be a horrendous way to end a race.
no, that would be very frustrating, wouldn't it?
It would. Maybe it's linked to that, I don't know. Turn the light on. What's Clyde saying now? Have you had too many sherries? Too many shandies, maybe? Charlie's pedals died during the break. Oh, right, okay. Now we know what happened. Oh, and that is Stefan's pit road. So, I think, well, we saw this last time. We saw some early pit stops last time.
Yes, 12 minutes.
Yeah, and it's exactly the same this time. He's obviously wanting to get out of whatever situation he was in. Let's go back to the front here. The cameras here are very strange, by the way, which is why I'm mostly on TV2. This is TV3, where you get a really good show for the sponsors, but you don't get to see much else. This is TV1, which is arguably very similar to TV2. Sorry, TV3, and this is TV2. And up in front there, this is either team driving, which we don't see very often from GDs. They do like to race one another. They paid for a race, they turned up for a race, they will do what? They will race.
And we've got the Impulse guys together as well.
We
with
do.
Jamie in a team sandwich.
Yeah, Jamie's doing really well. Oh, that looked like Miguel into the wall, but we'll skip over that. Was it? Yeah, it was Miguel. But they're in the order that they're supposed to be in, because we know that Wobbly is scared of Big Mig. So he's not going to overtake him. He'll get kicked out of Impulse if he overtakes him. That's what will happen.
Where's Gary? There he is. So Gary's chasing Freddie.
Bump drafting.
They're obviously.
You can hear that Honda. It's on the top of its rev limit. Do you hear it like screaming just then? It was going rope. It can't do anything but that. So 3 for the lead. Jamie Wilson is not being dropped by the top 2, which is excellent to see. Then we've got this group of 4. Freddie Van Eekhoven's in the middle of this, with the 2 Impulse boys at the front, and then Gary stalking them just behind. Then there's this pairing. Adam, who lost basically all the positions in the field on lap 2, I think it was. And then we've got a bit more of a battle a little bit further back. Behind him is a few ones that are a bit adrift. So Fiona on her own at the moment. Stefan, after his pit stop, he's... why is he braking all the time? Is he braking all the time, or is that just his lights are on and that's his rear lights?
No, it's rear lights, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, but his rear lights look the same even when he's braking. Never mind. Carl Hardy miles back now after
Yeah.
what happened earlier. Demis, I don't think Demis. Oh right, Demis and Charles even are gone from the race. Charles, we understand his pedals died, and I need to find a better camera than that.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah. Now there's a big.
Oh, he's doing decent lap times, even though he's all on his own, Leo. He's sticking in and going fast.
He is. Gary Craig holds the fastest lap of the race so far.
Oh, well done, Gary.
That was the last lap he did.
Is he getting toe from? No.
He is. Yeah, he's getting triple toe. So he's here behind the impulse boys now. He's just overtaking Freddie.
Right, he's overtaking Freddie now. Freddie's doing it ever so well, though, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the time that's going to take some beating. A 1:56.59. That's pretty rapid.
Ah, goodness me.
And this is where the action.
6.5. Can't moan with that. Crikey, that's...
No, definitely not. JB Dejoux has entered pit road. And Woodward scrapping with Matt Flannery here. And Woodward, don't forget, was your pole sitter, but he let most of the field go past him towards the start of the race, if you remember. Not sure what that was all about. Maybe he just didn't want to get into the stress of it all. Not sure. Back up here, though. Has Freddie managed to stay with him? Ish.
It's just getting slightly gapped. It's one of those... It's just probably a tenth off, isn't he? And it just accrues because they're so... These guys don't do many slow laps where you can actually pull something back if you've just lost half a second.
No, totally right. The advantage, just you can't get one, can you? Because they are lapping. Even their slow laps are as fast as your fast laps. It's one of those situations. But yeah, I think Freddie Van Eekhoven's like that. You know, in the Tour de France, where the one that gets spat out at the back of the peloton, and just cannot catch back up, no matter how good they are. I think that's the situation, possibly. Although, you look at that, and he's back on it. Back in contention.
But that's because of what you can do on the braking zone if you're prepared to... if you've got brass ones.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that was all done on the braking into that.
It really was.
Left hand there. And you have to be brave, but you can... Tonight I've seen a few times where drivers have closed a large gap with some kamikaze braking and got away with it, beautifully judged.
Absolutely.
So, and if you can do it, I have to do it sometimes, I admit. It's how I can get back on by doing a slightly risky braking maneuver, because I can save a few tenths by going in slightly hot.
I tried some slightly risky braking manoeuvres in the Clios on Friday, if you remember, but they were only risky for me as I sailed straight on at Brooklands.
Well, you were extraordinarily good, so I'm looking forward to next week. It was a splendid evening's entertainment in the Clios.
It was
Silverstone.
Yeah, it was good fun. It pays to know the track. I think I had the advantage of knowing the track very well. But
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Adam Wright is now hunting down Freddie Van Eekhoven. So he's doing good laps, Adam, actually. He's on the pace with Freddie in front of him. He was 0.2 faster last time round. If he continues like that, in 600 laps he'll catch up to him.
Well, he's done Lee, and Lee's no mug, so he's doing a grand job, and his first time in the lime green.
Yeah.
He is, and Adam's had to work to get by him. And
Freddie was wanting to carry as much as he could through turn one, because I think the Audi may not be as agile through the rest of the turns, and in doing so he got very, very close to contact with Gary. I don't think anything happened. Matt Flannery to pit road.
Yeah, I mean, what can Freddie do from where he is? You know, he's really he's hanging on and taking advantage of the tone, doing a really good job, but I really can't see him getting past Gary.
No, you've got to look at the names that are in front of him and think
Exactly.
he's got a mountain to climb. But I've seen him drive in GT3, and he's fast. Rear-wheel
Well, he
drive.
can hang on. You know,
fast.
I think, you know, he's trying very, very hard to stay in the draft of these guys. This is, you know, he's not holding anything back. I bet he's absolutely full on trying to hang on, because these guys are. This is the cream that you were talking about. It has risen to the top, and if you can stay with them, that's quite an achievement.
It is, yeah, and you can see Freddie was on the boot lid, or in the boot lid, of Gary Craig. Look at how he took the bus stop. That's immense.
Yes.
And he's
That's
back
what
on
he
the
did
bit.
at T1,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's what he did there to actually pull that. That's what you have to do, though, isn't it, Pete? If you're in that situation where you're just
sensible
losing
boy.
the toe.
Yeah, look at that. Sensible boy. He's not trying to overtake because both of you lose. He's bump drafting Gary Craig the full distance of the start-finish tri-oval. That's sensible.
Yeah, that's great racing. That's strategic, sensible thinking racing. Because, yeah, just, you know, he's got nowhere to go, really.
No, I mean, you know, these guys have all got a pit yet, so we've seen what pit stops can do. It shuffles everybody about. You can make so many easy, tiny little mistakes which gets you a penalty. We've seen Sam Blease with it last season, if you remember, on a critical race. Or was that the start of this season? I can't remember. No, it wasn't the start of this season.
It was last season,
Yeah.
Pete. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that was it. That cost him. Yeah,
It did,
you know,
it did.
You know, and he's normally that's his forte. It's one of his fortes anyway. That the way he manages his pit stops is certainly anybody who's wants to learn something about strategy and tactics and thinking your way through a race. You can't go wrong looking at the way these guys go about it. They're fantastic.
Absolutely. So these two still at the front of the queue. Obviously, they owe us a pit stop. Jamie Wilson's in a bit of no man's land at the moment, and if anything, he's about to get hunted down by this lot, which are not that far behind, as you can see. Miguel, Wobbly, Gary, and Freddie, all in a draft train.
They're coming for Jamie.
I think so, yeah. He was a second slower than all of them last time, or nearly a second slower. I think he may have had a mistake on the lap, because it was quite a lot slower than normal anyway.
He wouldn't be out of place in that groove if he gets caught on his altitude.
Yeah.
He'll be quite comfortable running with those guys.
Too right. He's got the talent, absolutely. He's new to the
We've got the pit stops coming up, like you say. There's an awful lot in play still here.
Yeah. Who's that close? Oh, Lee Bowden and Adam. Adam's struggling at the minute, which is a surprise. Adams fended Lee off for that lap at least.
Yes, I thought he got past him and was going to pull away, but no.
That's a nice overtake. If he can maintain it, and I think he will. No reason why he wouldn't. Yeah.
Good driving by the pair of them.
So this is Fiona and Matt Flannery. Matt Flannery has pitted, Fiona has not. So she's more than within her rights to hold her line and stay there. But she's let him go. Jamie's been caught all of a sudden. That 1 second gap has disappeared completely. And now we've got a freight train of 5 cars here.
Yeah, Freddie's going to get back on the back, I would say. keeps getting these little gaps, but then he does a really late braking exercise that he pulls off with some skill and gets back on again.
Yeah. And we've got to wonder. So, Sam Blees and Miguel have both been at the front of their respective little freight trains. Have they used more fuel than the individuals behind them, do you think? It has to happen, doesn't it? Oh, as I say it, Miguel goes to pit road. Freddie has followed him in. Hopefully he can get that slowed up. It looked like he did. Lee has peeled away as well, and left Adam to battle all on his own. So this is definitely a window. Not sure which window. But that leaves Wobbly fighting with Jamie, fighting with Gary.
Oh, divided their forces here.
They really have. I don't know whether that'll trigger everybody else to pit next lap, so that you stay in tow with someone. But these three have a bit of an advantage here, because is Miguel going to come out all on his lonesome with no one to follow? Freddie Van Eekhoven has pitted and has stayed with Miguel. Lee is on his way out. Adam. Sorry, Adam. I'm getting their names completely the wrong way around. Ant Woodward making his way out at the moment as well. But let's go back to this group, because the front two. Oh, Spencer has just overtaken Sam Blees. So was that a turn one effort? It's the safest place to pass as Fiona Siddons pits. So out of the bus stop, Sam Blees was crossed up, kind of going into the bus stop. And Spencer with a huge amount of overspeed round the outside, drops back in, gives his teammate a tow, and round they go again. So that's what happened there.
Very sweet through the chicane.
Very.
It's such a tricky little thing.
So we're at the.
You can lose a lot of speed there, can't you? And if you make a bad exit from that chicane, you're in purgatory for a very long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we're in. We're closing up on 2/3 race distance, and look who's at the front of the feature race. Spencer McCarthy. Jamie Wilson's peeled off for pit road. Just if you're wondering where he's gone, he's not crashed. He's in pit road. Fiona Siddons has gone to pit road as well.
Oh, has Gary pitted yet?
Not yet. He's busy shoving Wobbly around a corner there at International Hairpin. Or was that Western Horseshoe? I can't remember. Oh, it was International.
Right, hold his place. Because Adams, well, they're all running in the same pace, crikey.
Yeah, they're very close in terms of lap time. Very close indeed.
Migs in sixth though. He's out and he's still running sixth.
Yeah, he's the furthest forward of the pitters. Freddie Van Eekhoven's absolutely crawling all over his bumper at the moment. And Jamie's on it as well. Jamie Wilson is right there. But that does mean that Freddie Van Eekhoven has leapfrogged Jamie in that sequence of pit stops. Because Jamie was ahead before. Ant Woodward has got his race hat on all of a sudden. And he and JB have come together here to race for a bit.
Excellent. Well, they'll love that.
They will.
Very equally matched. JB's really come on.
He really has, yeah. Especially in this car. And front wheel drive, I think, is his thing. As both geodesic, Hydro Race geodesic cars go to pit road. Oh, and behind them, how has Wobbly suddenly got ahead? Is that just a better pit? Oh, he's gone too far. Has he? Yes. Oh dear. Well, I'm going to say this absolutely with sarcasm. What a shame. So that's Gary leaving again. The pit stops
I know
don't last long.
yeah,
Do
he
they?
didn't last very long, did it?
No.
Goodness.
Is
Did he put any fuel in?
I think he just. I think they just put vapors back into the fuel tank, and that's all there was. We're going to have to go back to this because JB and Ant are actually in a race. Everybody else is just doing pit stops.
Yeah, and those cars look fantastic together.
Oh,
It's
they do. It's just
Yeah.
great. Ant not nearly as confident into the braking zone at turn 1. But that might mean he gets a good drive out, which kind of he does, yeah. But like I said, there's 1,000 different lines into turn 1. You just got to pick one and stick with it.
Yeah, as long as you've braked in safely so you can get around, they're all
Yeah.
equally the same, really.
Yeah.
It's just a case of getting on the gas as quickly as you can, which you got through, because you need to be on the gas quick.
So as long as I've understood this correctly, Sam Blease, Spencer McCarthy have been in for their pit stops and have come out in the lead.
Oh my word.
Oh my word is the right thing to say at that point. Gary Craig is in 3rd. Miguel Freitas is in 4th. So Gary Craig has pulled a blinder in that pit stop sequence. He's leapfrogged 2 Impulse Racing cars.
Wow. So, and Wobbly's fallen back because he was
Yeah,
wasn't he in the top 5?
Yeah.
He was running
Oh yeah,
5.
he was ahead of his teammate. No, he wasn't. He was following his teammate, wasn't he? So Wobbly had a very, very fast pit stop, but his pit lane time was a lot longer because he had to reverse into his pit box.
Of course.
Impulse Racing.
That really cost him 2 places.
It really did, yeah. His pit lane stationary time was very rapid. As rapid as Gary's, because he was in the tow for so long. But I think he's thrown it all away by spending the best part of 4 seconds longer in pit lane time because of that reversing.
Well, he'll be keen to get it back.
He will.
And he's got the time. He's got 8 minutes. How many laps is that, do you reckon? How many? 3 laps? 4 laps?
3 or 4,
3
one of
laps,
those
really.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're between 1 and 3.
So Ant Woodward has passed JB and has kept that position. That's just happened. And Sam Blease somehow, we'll have a look at that in a second, has passed Spencer for the race lead as I was clicking to see this. So
oh, yeah. Now,
JB's broken the toe.
Yeah. That looks like a fairly upper-ball overtake to me. What's going on there?
I think JB came off the bus stop slow and didn't want to impede Ant. He'd rather sit and get some toe off him later on. Let's have a look at what happened for Sam Blease and Spencer. I can't believe for a minute that Spencer's made a mistake. That never happens.
Put it in the diary if it is.
I know, yeah, mark it.
Well, he's just
No, he's just absolutely overhauled him in a straight line.
mullered him in a straight line.
Yeah. And that's how they do that. Yep. Done him. Fair and square.
While he came out, he carried that pace out the chicane.
He did. It's going on again now. Can't believe this, can you?
Well, Spencer wants it back.
And he's on the wrong side at turn 1 this time. So he's going to have to give that up.
It's that tricky section. That infield section is tricky through there.
Yeah.
Preston on, anything could happen. Oh, are they all right behind? Goodness me, that was a bit wobbly.
This is Miguel and Gary Craig. So Miguel's caught up with Gary. Wobbly is in this mess here now with Jamie Wilson, who he's putting the muscle to at the minute. He might not get this done because Western Horseshoe is in Jamie's favour, but we've seen Wobbly sling it around the outside of cars before.
Ooh, Jamie won't give up.
No, that's lovely driving from both of them. It was almost synchronised. It's like there's a force field between them.
Let's see this anyway. I mean, beautiful, beautiful car control.
Yeah.
at high speed, you know, you really can't. You can't get it even a fraction wrong. You're in
No,
trouble.
no.
Yeah,
It's two
it's
people
great fun and beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's two people getting coffee or nobody getting coffee, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here we go with the
Well,
front two.
Sam's got his hands full, keeping Spencer behind him.
He really has, yeah.
That's 5 minutes of fun and fury.
Adam Wright all on his own at the minute. That's going to be a struggle from back there. And then Lee Bowden and Stefan duking it out.
Oh wow, that's a good race for those two.
Oh, it was.
Oh,
It really
crikey.
was. I don't know what happened to Lee there. That was a bit
Don't get on that.
inexplicable.
Don't get on that grass, Lee.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Still, 10th place. I think he's doing very well.
Yeah. Miguel is trying to get a move done on Gary, but Gary's not having any of it. Or is he? No, he's not. He's keeping that defensive line nicely there. That was lovely.
That was absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
That was judged to the inch.
It was beautifully done.
Wasn't it just? Goodness me. Talk about car awareness.
Alex on the chat is flying the Racing Forces hat or flag or whatever, wearing the hat and flying the flag. There we go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
He's not wearing the flag and flying the hat then.
Well, he could be, but it might be for a different channel, you know.
Right.
The cars are doing better each race, as we said. I mean, they are reasonably new to the front-wheel drive format, so that is Wobbly getting through those two. His next target is his own teammate, who we know he's not willing to overtake, Miguel Freitas, just a bit further up the road here. Still stalking Gary, not managed to find a solution for Gary just yet. And at the very front we've got the Hydra Race geodesic cars. Still finding it out, so let's see what happens. Gary took a bit of a defensive line.
There's a bit of sizing up going on with Big Mig.
Yes.
This Gary following business. I think he's a very experienced driver, and
yeah,
he's clocking everything about Gary's lap. And it's all going into his analytical brain box, and he's worked out exactly when he's going to put a move on him and what he's going to do.
So the problem he's got is that Gary Craig has a very analytical brain as well.
Yeah, yes. It's a fascinating battle.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting when we get into turn one here. So Big Mig on the outside. Gary Craig. Is Big Mig going to try it? Wow.
Yeah, well.
All right then. You've got no defence to that. I'm sorry.
No, you haven't, and that's the thing. We've seen that here tonight quite often. The undefendable move because of somebody coming on so sweetly on the brakes.
That's very intimate.
Oh, that was.
I mean, it was wonderful racing. I mean, you couldn't have got a Rizzler paper between them, could you?
Fantastic. These guys must be loving this. You just got to know what it must be like to be in these cars, in these races, running so close, everything's so tight. Everybody's doing their best. It's eyes out, but it's skillful. So people will take on overtakes and trust the other guy to hold his line. And of course they do. And that makes for very exciting racing.
I don't know why I bother looking away at times. So Spencer McCarthy has regained the lead of the race.
Duelik.
Yeah, and this is how he managed it. It was as we were watching Miguel Pascari. So I feel somewhat vindicated now. So he's gone low.
Oh.
And that's nice actually. He made his teammate think he was going to go high after he duked low. That was a nice overtake. He managed to whirl it up just about and then took it in. Very nice.
I think Sam was lovely as well.
Yeah.
He could have been He could have made that a lot harder, I suspect.
Oh, very much.
So yeah, good teammates at the end of the day. Solid as rocks, of course.
Yeah, everybody's paired up. The only one that's on his own, all by himself, is Wobbly.
They're doing the 56s now, but that's without any tow.
Yes. Fuel's dropped now, hasn't it? And
Yeah, Wobbly's in the 56s as well.
track temperature's
It's a
probably dropped.
very, very quick laps.
Sorry, I just picked the wrong battle to look at.
Oh, look at this.
That's Jamie
Freddie's
Wilson.
had a heck of a night, hasn't he? He's been racing all night. He's had so much racing.
He has, and he's done very well with it, actually. He may be down 3 places in this one, but look at who he's racing against, and only in his 3rd race week as well.
He's
this
having a
car.
fantastic time. He must be
Very
loving
nice.
it. Yeah, I'm very happy for him because he's driving his heart out and having a great time. And yeah, that's what you want to see.
Isn't it? So we've got these 3 races. We've got a few gaps forming behind. You can see it on there. So behind this is a big gap back to Adam Wright. 7 seconds. Another 7 gets you to Stefan. Lee Bowden is only 2 behind him. And then a big jump back to Ant Woodward, 7 more seconds. And then he's got company in the form of JB and Matt Flannery. So there's a battle going on back here. But it's nowhere near as close as this or this. Or the one that you could see just disappearing out of your picture just ahead. So we are at time. Let's see if this is the final lap. I think it probably is. And that's going to be the closest finish either of these two have had all season. And I think that is Sam Blease by nothing whatsoever. And is that Gary Craig? He's done it.
Oh,
He's stayed ahead, I think.
well done,
Has
Gary.
He has.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's 3rd there. And Wobbly got the purple on the last lap,
He
did he?
Yeah, and with no toe, it has to be
Yeah.
said. So, excellent
And a
work.
fantastic drive in that second race.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
like you say, you know,
Oh, look at this mess.
Enough
Oh, this is going to end badly for someone. Go on, JB. Oh,
no, it's going to be perfectly executed and
And it
all
is.
very jolly.
And stayed ahead there of JB and Matt Flannery.
Well done, guys.
And the final battle is Fiona and Carl. Fiona's keeping him wide. That's a great tactic. And
Go on,
yes,
Pete. Yay!
that pie-powered Elantra just will not do it. Seems like Carl still had a good time though. Well,
They just love to race, these guys.
yeah, they
Regardless
really
of
do.
the- They love to race, and yeah, it's joyful stuff because of that. Great vibe off these drivers.
Anything that stood out for you there?
Oh, I think Wobbly's a great drive to come because it's a long way from the back in this field,
Oh god, yeah.
and he had to do a lot of overtaking to get up to, and he nearly got into the podium. He got to 5th place, caught up with his teammate. Miguel drove well, and but Freddie was so busy, wasn't he? I think Freddie
He
did
was.
amazingly well.
Freddie did very good at racing in close company with very fast drivers.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with him actually, and he's pipped Jason. Who the hell's Jason?
Jamie.
Jamie Wilson.
Yeah.
Right at the very end, actually. What did he? Yeah. I've got so many exchanges of places on the last lap for these two. So this is the last lap. So Freddie sails it in ish.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
Door to door. We saw this bit, and then we
as rivers
switched.
do.
Yeah, and we switched to something else.
Well, Jamie's going to come out of here in front, isn't he? And then he's going to go the other way.
Yeah, Freddie keeps the inside line. That's lovely driving from both of them. 2 different cars, obviously, Audi and Elantra, Hyundai Elantra.
This track is a lot tighter than it looks in here. You know, when you're on the road there, you don't look like you've got all that much room for this side-to-side collider. And
No.
yeah,
And then
that was stunningly lovely, wasn't it?
this was the dash to the line, this was. So that's Freddie trying to get some side draft,
Oh,
and he's managed it. He's broken the side draft there, and Jamie's reacted, but not enough for Jamie. Oh, Jamie was coming back at the last second. Oh, wow. Good grief.
Oh, goodness
Pass me
me.
my blood pressure pills, Alan.
That was something, wasn't it?
It really was. That's brilliant.
Yeah, some absolutely brilliant driving tonight. I'm honestly blessed to watch it.
So
Really delighted for Lee in his first night in safeguard colours.
yeah, he's done well. He's done better than Carl. Anyway, Sam Blease was your race winner, and only just look at the difference, 0.021 of a second. You can't see it now because that great big green light there has covered
Very
it.
long, isn't it, Pete?
I know, it's a bit rude. Spencer McCarthy was second in the sister team, Hydra Race Geodesic Racing. Third was Gary Craig, but only just again for BSTV, over Miguel Freitas for Impulse Racing. And his teammate got the fastest lap on the last lap, Wobbly in fifth, Freddie Van Eekhoven in sixth for Hydra Race Racing Forces, Jamie Wilson seventh, for Team Chimera. Eighth was Adam Wright for BSTV. Stephen Goebel was ninth for VTS Esports, with 10th being Lee Bowden for Safeguard. Ant Woodward finished 11th for Never Quit Racing. JB Dejoux finished 12th for BSTV Esports Blue, but had a really good and eventful race. That was brilliant. Matt Flannery was 13th for Hydra Race Geodesic Racing. Fiona Siddons finished in 14th for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Carl Hardy finished 15th for Safeguard, and then Demis and Charles had trouble early on in the race and did not finish this time. Demis on the chat says, I just love the walls. I don't think you do. I think the walls love you. And Ant says that Daytona hurts his back. I think that's more of a you problem than a Daytona problem, but we'll talk about that another time. I'm going to find us some footage to slow-mo from, right from the very start of the race. We'll set that away, and we'll do a bit of this, and we'll get rid of some of this. There we go, look at that, it's like a professional. Only like one though. And we'll go and find some people to talk to. So, where's Discord gone? There we go.
Where's my scotch? There it is.
I think we need to...
We're doing all this exciting racing is interfering with my drinking, Pete.
It is, yeah. Well, that's very rude, isn't it? I think we're going to have to speak to either Gary or Spencer first. I think we're going to go Gary first, if he's there. Yeah, he is. So let's go and move him into the live booth. So, unusually, but thankfully, first into the booth tonight is Gary Craig. Good evening.
Good evening. Have you got me in the wrong order?
No, I've assessed the finishing orders, and I have determined that you have been equally as successful as Spencer tonight in getting a second and a third, which beats, in my opinion, Sam Blease's win and fourth, and Miguel's win and fourth. So,
woo, double podiums.
Get in.
Yay!
And the fastest lap.
And the fastest lap, yeah. You got the first race one. Wobbly did it on the final lap of the second race.
Using my damn toe.
Yeah, he did, yeah. He was absolutely cheating in that way. The first race was a little bit more successful for you because of an incident which involved solid air, but also involved Wobbly going across the front of Sam from what I could see anyway. That's just my opinion. Talk us through race one first.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have finished so high up if it wasn't for that incident. We did look at it between the races, and everyone decided it was Wobbly's fault, so that's fine. But race ones can sometimes be a bit boring compared to race two, but this race one was mega. I felt like I was a little bit off the pace, especially at the start of race one, but fortunately they were fighting and the draft helped, which kept me in it a bit there. I was purposefully hanging off the back of it a little bit. I was staying at the back without getting involved because you just end up losing everyone time if you try to overtake too early in those races, and then you end up letting two guys get away. So I just was happy to sit there and see what happened. I know that we had a fast car, so Sam's been doing a bit of setup work, and the Veloster felt mega fast in a straight line tonight. It
Oh,
was
right.
so it was drivable, very drivable in the infield, and it was just super fast. And you could see how we just drove around the outside of the Hondas there with the side draft. It was just like hitting the push to pass button. It was mega. Oh, and they just
Right.
seen me getting punted in the back a little bit by Stefan.
Yeah. That's a feature of International Horseshoe.
Yeah, because I nearly did it to Wobbly and Spencer in races 1 and 2 there. So
Right, okay. Well, you know, there's a tenner on offer for Wobbly, so there you
yeah,
go.
but no, race 1 was good fun. Good group at the front that were close together the whole way, which made it interesting. And then I benefited from the about half a foot of net code between them, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, it didn't look massive. We've seen worse, usually with Tyler, or with Vincent Skillback in V8s, but there was definitely a solid air between the two cars. But you know, you've benefited from that. That's going to do your championship the world of good. And you were doing this last season, and you very nearly won. And I think, do you think with the mix of impulse cars versus geodesic cars that more of that might happen, and you might? And I'm not saying stealth your way forward. How can you do that in the company that you're racing with? But sensible driving, taking your opportunities when they're offered to you, and generating points along the way seemed to do you well last season. Do you think that's going to be even more prominent this season?
It's going to be harder. Everyone's faster. Miguel's
Right.
mega fast. I'm the fifth fastest at best. Adam was quicker than me in quali and practice tonight. He just got unlucky. So no, it's going to be very difficult. And again, Spencer's probably going to have a summer holiday, which still didn't put him out of the championship last time because his
No.
results are so good. So I'll obviously keep doing my best to keep racking up points. I'm hoping last week was my drop week where I had a P19.
I would think so.
But
Yeah.
but I had two fifths in the first week, a fifth and 19th last week, and a second and a third tonight. So fifth is my default, and anything better than that, I can only take as a bonus. So this will be probably one of my best of the season, I should imagine, because it's very, very difficult with just how fast and competitive everyone is. I'm not as quick as them, I'm easily a couple of tenths a lap slower. So I just need to take the chances where I can get them.
Yeah, I mean, this might work again. Just let me do this. So I know you like your stats. So you're fifth at the minute on 179. So what's that?
This hasn't been updated yet with tonight.
No, not with tonight's. No. But I think, given the fact that, well, I don't know. Everybody seems to have done a very, very even spread in that top five, don't they? Really. So maybe it'll stay you'll stay in station, as it were. But we'll see.
So probably let's go 72 points last week. So if that could be my drop round, then great, because that's not a great score.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's obviously very, very close at the top there. A couple of points between Spencer and Miguel, who got very similar finishes. Wobbly was only 10 points back there. He suffered a little bit, but still did a great recovery in race 2 there. So yeah, it's just going to be mega close, and I'm going to keep doing what I did last season, which was try to not pick up incidents and just bag points.
And it did you well last season. You took it right to the very last race, and we hope that you do that again, because it was brilliant to watch.
Well, that was more because the other guys all had big incidents for 3 races in a row.
Yeah,
I was 70 points behind with 3 races to go, and entered the last race 8 points up, and that wasn't because I was faster for those 2 races. I got lucky last season.
Let's see what happens, because I think you might be wearing Stephen Walker's pants. You just haven't realised it yet.
He hasn't washed them in 10 seasons.
Yeah, they're not pants you want to be wearing, are they, really?
Hell no.
You can throw them at the wall and they'll either slide down or stick.
They'll eat through the wall, I think.
They growl at you.
Oh.
They growl at you, that's class.
Especially if he's wearing them. It's not called Wookiee for no reason.
Yeah. Oh, dear, that's hilarious. So, anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and practice for wherever the hell we're at next time? Because
Centripetal circuit, yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely not the centripetal circuit. It is.
It's Mosport.
Is it Mosport already?
It is.
God.
It is.
Time's gone so
Oh,
fast.
I can't believe I'm telling you the right track, or maybe
I
I'm
know.
not, or maybe I'm setting you up for a fail in the future where you do believe me. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Well,
oh,
I
don't do
did that last
Gary. I
season.
love
Yeah.
my sport.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it too, yeah. But no,
Yeah.
I obviously thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast and running the league. Great battle with everyone at the front there. It was great fun tonight. Unlucky to Adam, who went grass tracking in turn one a couple of times, but
Yeah.
he'll get some team points one day,
Yeah. Maybe.
maybe.
But
Otherwise, I'll be getting the super sub back in.
well, yeah.
Get JB back
Get
on the team.
JB back on the team.
He's,
Absolutely. He did well
he's had
for
his
you last
war-
season.
He's had his warning.
He has. But no, fantastic racing tonight. And we expect and hope to see the same at Mosport next week. Gary Craig.
Cheers, thanks guys.
Good night.
Okay, so next up, it only seems fair that since we went for a second and a third place finish to start the broadcast, the interviews even that we get Spencer in, because equally, third place in the first race, a second place in the second race, if I can get that right. Spencer McCarthy, good evening.
Good evening, Pete. Have you finished waffling?
I think so.
Nice.
I'm stumbling over my own words.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No, yeah, good stuff as always. Yes, it was. It was a third and a second,
Yeah.
which is good points. It's good
Very.
evenings haul.
And you
Good race.
yeah, you did. What happened in the first race? Just give me a sec, because
First race was fun for once, wasn't it?
it was.
We
Yeah.
had some overtake. You
Um,
had some stuff to talk about.
too right. There was lots going on in the first race. The draft did us proud. There was a few people that couldn't get away. Miguel eventually got the jump on everybody. Gary managed to pip you at the line, as it were. When I say pip you what
Well, I had a
happened? What
slow
happened?
down.
You had a slowdown. Was it a bus stop
So
slowdown?
It was a bus stop slowdown.
Yeah,
So
I did wonder.
Obviously, I mean, I had a decent gap coming into the last 3 laps because obviously Wobbly and Sam got messed up. I think that was a little bit of a very unfortunate. I mean, I think I went to give Sam some draft, obviously going down the straight, and I think at the same time Wobbly was almost just had his blinkers on, looking at the back of my car.
Yeah.
So he just kind of moved when I moved, but actually he then moved across into Sam.
Yeah.
Slightly, but I think very close, and it was a bit of net code, and yeah.
Oh, there was definitely net code in it, but
Yeah.
when you assess the finite of what happened, it's Wobbly's fault.
I think so. I think we came to that conclusion. He obviously being Wobbly, he shouted out Sam like that,
Yeah.
and then I very quickly and Sam very quickly went, "That was you, mate."
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, that was me."
If anybody's got that as a soundbite, I will buy it off them for good money.
I don't think so. What I just did?
No, well, the actual one, because
The actual one, yeah, no.
that's worth cash in my world.
I don't think they recorded him. But that was. So I had a bit of a gap from that, which was good. And I think it was about 8/10. 8/10.
Yeah, that'd be about that.
And I was like, oh, let's see what I can do with this. And it didn't really seem to come down for the next lap and a half for that much. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe Miguel's done his tyres, or maybe there's enough in it for me to eke this one out. Because the Honda on Honda, you probably couldn't get past from the bus stop round.
Right, really?
Yeah. But I just then he made a great move going into turn one and just sort of threw it up the inside there, which effectively is kind of like payback from what I did to him earlier in the race. I think I kind of really just threw it up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool fair. You got the win. I then tried a bit too hard through the bus stop to get a good run, and then gave myself a slow down and had to let Gary through. So that's how it
painful.
worked out.
Yeah. Last lap as well, because often you can kind of bleed it off. It's horrendous here either way, isn't it? Because everybody's going so fast. But you can sometimes bleed it off before you get into International Horseshoe. But you wouldn't have had that time, would you? Because it was last lap, so you had to shed it before the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was that. And then second race, I mean, you're talking kind of Veloster against Honda coming out that last, at the bus stop. The Honda just doesn't seem to have the top speed.
This has been said a few times recently.
Yeah, so Sam's top speed, that I've got recorded is sort of 257 k's. and mine is 252. So sort of 5Ks. You know, I mean that's JLT might be slightly out, but it's definitely got a bit more top speed on it. So yeah, it seems to plateau a bit, the Honda, but you know, it's what it is. And you know, good to come away with the second place. Didn't hemorrhage too many points to Miguel. I think he did better for the night as a whole, I think. But yeah, no, awesome race.
Yeah, well done. We saw you doing some overtakes around the outside of turn one. Not the only one, but we saw a very, very nice one in the broadcast. So watch that back because it was absolutely textbook.
Peachy. Yeah, no,
absolutely peachy. Yeah,
nice.
It's good stuff. Anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you go and practice for what Gary told us was Mosport? So whether that's true or not, we're not sure.
I'm going to shout out to Sam. Mega job being up the front again. It's been, I think, he's either struggled or had a couple of weird nights races the last couple. So really good to see him up there battling again. I think he's found some good pace with Veloster this week, which is good. And then shout out to Miguel. You know, he's come into it. He's found his feet straight away, and he's doing really well. Gary seemed to have a really good night, as did Adam. And unfortunately, he had just a couple of unfortunate things that went on in his races, slowdowns and whatnot that took him out of the frame. But he was going really well.
Yeah, he was rapid in practice. But didn't manage to translate that into the race. I've seen he's not bothered for an interview. He's playing Hell Let Loose now. I'm going to go and join him after this.
And then obviously shout out to the teammate. Got to grips with it quite well. And I obviously Wobbly drove terribly.
Of course,
coming from the back in that last race. So we won't mention that.
No, we won't mention any of the 12 places that he overtook. No. Yeah. Cool. No. Well, always a pleasure. And it's brilliant watching you race. Sometimes me and Alan, as you can probably tell on the broadcast, are just like, and how did he do that exactly? It's brilliant, honestly. We turn up to watch things like that. So fantastic entertainment. Spencer McCarthy.
Thank you both.
You're very welcome, Spencer.
Right. So no Miguel no Big Mig to speak to tonight. No Wobbly to speak to tonight, which is unusual at best. We do have, though, finished fourth in the first race. Just going to go and check that fact. Yes. And first, obviously, in the feature race. Good evening and congratulations to Sam Blees. Back on the top spot again. Yay. Woo!
Felt a bit far away for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
so
I bet it
did.
Be back. Yeah, you've had some rough weeks, haven't you? At the start of this season, but that's a consolidated performance. First race was underwritten and overwritten by the solid air moment and the wobbly transitioning from left to right across the front of your car. Second race, no such issues other than your own sister teammate of Spencer. And you overcame with 0.021 of a second win.
A huge gap. A gaping chasm.
Yeah, I've had longer sneezes than that.
Absolutely. It was, it was dominant, wasn't it? He might as well not have bothered.
Yeah, it was a landslide, one might say.
It was a good race. That's what it was.
It was certainly action-packed. You both seem to do either some good team racing at the start or just kept it together and stayed together because you ended up pitting and coming out in the lead. Did you wait for everybody else to get theirs done and then do it, or was that a tactic you were going to take on from the start?
So I got through the pack quicker than him, so I had a couple of laps out in the lead on my own, but I never quite broke the toe. And when he got there, we basically just said, head down, we'll not fight, we need to pull a gap on in particular Wobbly and Miguel, but also Gary was right on it this week as well.
Yeah. So
we needed to have, we needed to get rid of Jamie, who was hanging on to our toe for an impressively long amount of laps. When we were working together. Yeah, he was really going for it. So we had to drop him and then basically build that gap because they would be saving fuel and we couldn't, or I couldn't in the lead. And he could a bit, but not very much. And then we swapped around a little bit and stuff. So we were basically flat out at that point working together. And then we came out the pits, had a chat, and he said, "Do you want it?" And I said, "No, let's race it."
Mm-hmm.
He might have said something different. He might have said he gave it to me. I don't know. I don't know. You've already interviewed him, but yes. So we just went for the race. But I think my car was a little bit quicker on the straight, so I was able to get around him at the end.
His words were, "It was a lot quicker."
I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. He did say that the Honda really struggled in a straight line, and the Veloster was like mega. And we kind of saw that to a point. I think the Audi we saw in the tow, it seemed really good, but once it was out of the tow, it just got dropped like a hot scone.
The thing with the Audi is it's really, really good for the first part of the straight, and then it hits the limiter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only at Daytona it hits it, but when it hits it, everyone just drives past you.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't do it in clean air, but as soon as you've got a tow, you have the problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Audi's good on lap time, and it's probably good if you're battling because you might be ahead by the line, but you probably won't be by turn one.
Yeah.
And the Veloster is sort of a nice mix. So I struggled with setup for a bit, and then I found Gary shared me one from last season, and I've worked on it a fair bit through a few officials. Sent it back to him and to Lee, and I think just those guys actually. I don't know if there's too many other Velosters in it. And we
no, there's not many.
Yeah, so we found that we had the bus stop is loose in the bus stop, so you've got to be really gentle and really smooth. But if you get the bus stop right, you've got great speed, and it really, really carries it right through. So I was pretty comfortable at the end. Actually, I'd be happy in second, but I'd also be happy in first. Like I think if I was leading, I could have held Spencer off until the line.
Yeah.
Which last season wouldn't be possible in any of the cars because the draft was, or not last season before, when they changed the draft, that wouldn't have been possible. But now, yeah, I think I could have done. But because the Honda wasn't quite as quick, I could get round him before the line as well.
Okay. Right. Okay.
I mean, it's just nice.
I mean,
it's nice to be fighting at the pointy end and not just watching them drive away by 2 or 3 tenths a lap.
Yeah. I was going to say the same thing. It's good to see you back at the pointy end of the field, and in such resplendent fashion. To be honest, just a shame you couldn't take that battle with Wobbly and Miguel and Spencer right to the flag in race one as well. That'd have been nice.
I felt like I possibly had the fastest car as well. I kept being able to get alongside the car in front.
Yeah.
But because there was 2 of them, you couldn't pass both of them, and then you were on the outside, so you just end up getting squeezed out.
Yeah, you just get bogged out.
Yeah, I felt if I'd stayed on it, like there was 3 or 4 laps before we had our incident, or remaining after the incident rather, I felt like there was actually a chance I could get through, and if I could, induce a mistake in Spencer, or I think he was second at the time, I probably would have been able to pass the leader because the straight line speed of the car we had. So I thought I was in contention for the win, but then it hurt Wobbly a lot more. I haven't looked at it in too much detail. Obviously there was a fairly big net code.
Yeah.
And it looked like he moved, but I didn't leave loads of space. Then I wasn't expecting him to move at all. But yeah, it's it is what it is. It's Daytona and it's net code, so you get these things. And
you do. You do.
It's wobbly, so I don't feel too much.
We shouldn't feel any kind of remorse or anything. It's a victory. But yeah, anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and practice for Mosport?
Yeah, just to Spencer. It's good to be racing closely again, and nice to be working together. So thanks for that, and good results tonight. So that's good fun. Thanks to everyone coming out. Good to see some new names again. Charlie and Alejandro. I know he didn't get on the grid, so hopefully we'll see them next week. And as always, thanks to you guys for hosting and putting on what I'm sure was an excellent broadcast, and I look forward to watching tomorrow.
Yeah, we caught both finishes of both races tonight.
Yeah,
that's a rarity.
That for us, that's like gold. That's solid gold right there. 24 carat.
It's Hall of Fame streams, all-time streams. 2 races, 2 finishes,
Yeah.
Both on.
Awesome. And I got the starts. But no, fantastic racing.
You'd have to be doing really badly to miss the starts, Pete.
I've nearly done it before, to be fair. I've been sailing through the starting grid, but never mind. But yeah, great to see you back at the top, where you clearly are comfortable. Sam Blease, good evening.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Sam.
Cheers.
He did well tonight.
He did. He's the last of our interviewees. No Miguel to speak to tonight. No Wobbly to speak to tonight, which is unusual. Right, so beyond that, Alan, is the challenging prospect of us selecting a driver of the evening from all
I think it is quite
of
challenging again. We're getting a lot of these challenging ones because there's so many outstanding performances every week.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Shall I do a run through?
Yeah, you do a run through because, you know, the thing is you give it to one bloke and you really want to give it to three.
Yeah.
And you feel like you give it to one person, you're denying somebody else who deserves it as well.
Too right. So, obviously Sam's back in winning form. He's got the points to keep him warm though, hasn't he? So that's fine. Spencer has done well. Gary Craig's done very, very well. I mean, he's played a very calculated game. He was very humble about the first race in that he wouldn't have finished as high without the incident. I think in that race, any one of those top five could have won that. So I'm not entertaining that sentence too much. So he's right up there for me. Miguel didn't do as well as he's done previously. We know he's very fast, as is Wobbly, who had a bit of a tangle in the first race. Freddie Van Eekhoven. Now, he's done pretty good tonight. He had where did he finish? He finished 9th in the first race, and he finished 5th in the second race. He was staying with the top crew, and showed that he's got pace in this car. So he features very highly for me, as does Jamie Wilson, who finished behind him in the feature race and finished 5th in the first race. So I am properly torn here. Everybody else had something happen along the route. Not quite a clean affair. So I don't know where to put I don't know where to plant the flag today.
It's a tough one.
I think I'm going to go the Wilson route, and I'm going to say Jamie Wilson for me. He absolutely turned that Elantra on tonight. I think he's getting a bit more comfortable with it. I think it benefited from having top speed at Daytona in the tow behind other cars. But I think he's performed excellently well. He got a 5th place and he got a 7th place. And in a car that he's not familiar with, I think that's worthy of a shout out. So my vote goes to Jamie.
Yes, well, that's very exciting for you because I would have chosen Jamie, I think, tonight. I think you're absolutely spot on. He's the way he stuck in there when he was in that sandwich, you know, he had to have sheer good pace and sheer good drive, and he was in a lot of exciting situations tonight. Yeah, really good performance.
I mean, you can still vote for him. Doesn't have to be one. Doesn't have to be just one, you know.
But, you know, Freddie was also outstanding. He was. And, you know, your short list of two is the same as mine. I also want to give Wobbly a mention because his driving the second race was fantastic. To make all those passes was really great driving. And he did the fastest lap on the last lap, which is style.
It is, yeah. You're right. You can't ignore overtaking 12 of these guys because they're all quick. So his last to first challenge finished at position 5, which is still remarkable. So so where are you going to go with your vote then?
So God blimey. I want to mention Ant as well. He started off in pole on the feature race, and my word, he was trying. He was. There was so much great racing down the field. Lee had a great first night in his new team. Yeah, it was just fantastic. Oh, I'm going to go with Jamie as well because I thought he was great tonight.
You can't overlook it, can you? It was a solid performance. I don't know what he managed on incident points or anything like that. But yeah, he's done a very clean, very calculated, very steady race, and sometimes that's what gets you points, either in the race or by way of driver of the meeting. So I think we've both voted very sensibly there. I think those are very good votes. So where are we next? We're at Mosport next week. Before that, we have the opportunity to laugh at me probably in the Clio Cup. I've not done any laps, nor should we. It's very much this season at least a league to turn up and drive. So schedule is Red Bull Ring. I did actually know that already. I'd just forgotten it. That'll be a great race. Sir Alan's in that now as well, and we had a great time last week, didn't we?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was a great evening. Yeah, great vibe around the place. Everybody was happy to be there. The racing was fantastic fun. I was amazed to be something like on the pace.
Oh, you did
and
really
kept
well.
up.
Yeah.
And it was great. And you drove outstandingly.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think everybody else had punctures.
So yeah, looking forward to it. I really like the Clio. It's a fun car.
Yeah, so if
it'll be great around that Red Bull as well.
Oh, it will. There'll be plenty of draft for that car around there. So if you want to have a more casual race with a load of crazy people, then Friday night is the night for you because we race Clios at BSTV. So sign up on our website. You know where it is. And you will be visible on the broadcast, no doubt. But for tonight, we will draw the broadcast to a close. Thank you to all the drivers that raced tonight, all the guys that watched, to everybody that's contributed to this league, because there's plenty of you out there, including Russ, who I've not heard from for a little while, but I'm sure he'll be back shortly. And most of all, thanks to Alan for joining me in the booth, because it's such a fantastic event when you're in here, and I hope you enjoy your whiskey. I'll say goodnight now and let Alan say goodnight.
Yeah, well, Pete, I am enjoying my whiskey, and I hope you read my column in my simulacorium, so you would know that Peter gifted me this beautiful single malt whiskey, which I'm enjoying immensely. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching, folks. It's been great tonight and great racing. The guys really turned it on for us, and we'll see you next week.